Big changes for college sports in the Mountain West. Boise State, San Diego State, Colorado State, and Fresno State will be joining the Pac-12 conference beginning July 1st of 2026. According to reports, each Mountain West school will pay a $17 million exit fee. The Mountain West Conference would receive a total of $111 million in exit fees from the four schools, and the Pac-12 is part of the league's scheduling agreement. The four Mountain West schools will be joining the remaining two Pac-12 schools, Oregon State and Washington State. The Pac-12 still needs two more schools to meet the NCAA's minimum requirement to qualify as an FBS conference. Now, Fox 5 was the first to hear from UNLV President Keith Whitfield and Director of Athletics Eric Harper. They said, "We know that four members of the Mountain West have announced their intentions to leave the conference in 2026. Our focus remains on doing what is best for our institution, current and future student athletes, alumni, donors, and the greater Las Vegas community. We continue to evaluate all options." And Fox 5 is traveling today with the UNLV football team to Kansas. The Rebels will look to win 3 straight against the Jayhawks on Friday night at 4 p.m. Fox 5 sports reporter Paloma Villacana will share more details tonight at 10 o'clock.